Okay guys, welcome to this week's index review from Magnetic Trading. Okay, so let's kick things off with what are we going to go through this week. Firstly, we're going to go over the advisor trades. So remember, these are the trades that we take on our own account. We then distribute these trades via an app to our clients and they can take them as well. So we'll go over and see what happened there. We're going to go over what we risk on our own trading account and what you can risk. We're going to give you a DAX review, and we're going to go over some weekly analysis for you, particularly on the FTSE. All right, so last week we actually had a good trading week for Magnetic Trading and our clients. We made 1.81%, not bad for just one week of work. One trade on the FTSE and one on the DAX, and both winners. So in terms of risk, we trade quite a big account here at Magnetic Trading. So we're actually risking 0.5 to 1% on a trade. And actually when we lose, it's around usually the 0.5% because we actually reduce our risk. So if we're in a trade that we feel is not correct, rather than just let it get stopped out, we will intervene. And we'll either come out the trade early or we will reduce our leverage. Leverage means our dollars per point or pounds per point. So for example, if I'd bought the FTSE $10 a point, if I'm in the trade and I'm not liking it, then I might reduce my position to just $5 a point, so that if the trade was stopped out, I'm not going to lose too much. Now, as a trader, you can risk really from 1 to 4% on your trades. You don't have to go in 0.5 to 1% if you're trading a small account. You can take them from 2 to 4%. You just need to bear in mind that there will be a run of losses at some point, typically between 3 to 4 losses in a row. That's nothing to do with the system, it's just to do with probability. So even the best systems in the world, you can't beat probability. So there will be a stage at some point that you'll get a string of losses in a row. Around 3 losses in a row is something that you need to factor in. Now, if you're going 2 to 3%, that's fine. You can recover from that quite nicely. But if you're edging up to the 4%, then you just need to be aware that a 12% hit on the account is quite a bit. So manage your risk, factor in probabilities as well, because even with a good system of sort of 70 to 75% win rate and a good risk reward, over a sample size of say 200 trades, there will be a streak of 3 to 4 losses in a row, and there's nothing much you can do about that. That's just probability. So do factor that in to your trade plan. All right, so what's happening this week in terms of analysis on the markets? Well, this week is triple witching. So what does that mean? It means that on the ASX and the FTSE, we have options and futures expiring. So that event will take place on the ASX. It's a really high probability trade. We're going to be trading that live with our clients in our live trading room. It's a webinar setup so they can log in from all around the world. And it takes around 20 to 30 minutes, that particular trade. The next day, on the Friday, we also have triple witching on the FTSE, and that actually only takes 5 minutes. So again, we'll be trading that live with our clients. So that's the 2 big trades for the week to be looking forward to. I'm also looking out for a breakout on the FTSE above 6060. So that's quite a key level short term. Above that, I think we'll see a bit of a rally come in if we get some stability above 6060 on Monday, Tuesday. So look out for that one. And of course, long term, we're still very much bullish on the FTSE above 5550. So that's really why a lot of our strategy at the moment is waiting for big sell-offs and buying into that sell-off, because FTSE is still undervalued compared to other indexes, global indexes, particularly America. It's lagging, it's still down for the year considerably, and it does need to catch up a little bit. So still very much like buying the dip on FTSE whilst we're above that figure. So do keep an eye on that as well. Obviously below 550, then we'll change our view. All right, now let's go over to Cameron now. He's going to go over a trade that we took live last week on the DAX and give you some education on why we took that trade.
Thanks for that, Mark. So this week we issued a buy trade for the DAX to all our advisor clients who received trade directly to their phone, and they can follow the trade that we are taking on our own account. So the buy was to buy 13,032, 76-point stop and a 75-point target. When the trade was running, I was actually in one of our Pro Trader sessions. This is a session for our Pro Trader clients where we mentor them every single day. These are professional traders, and I was telling them about why I took the trade and what were the reasons behind that. So it's a fractal break, this trade, and I really like momentum in the DAX. So let's go over to that session now. We've already taken half profits once we got to 50 points, and we're now just waiting for the trade to move to its full target. Yesterday was key for us. Again, if we just look at the 4-hour chart, and although we moved below the 169 here, we had a bit of a double bottom, put in a very, very strong 4-hour candle here, meaning the market wanted to hold. It held the monthly pivot yesterday, and we've also held down the weekly lows as well. So that's all positive for me. When we come to look at the 1-hour chart and what we want to be looking to trade, very, very clear here. Weekly pivot at 13,180. Okay, there's 85 guys, half profits taken if you're in the trade. And we've got a fractal break here. So while we are below the 169 on the 4-hour chart, we still have put in a very, very strong reversal here. This is a 1, 2, 3 on an hour chart. This is with all of them green, technically known as the 3 white soldiers, I think. But anyway, very, very strong action coming here, and we've got a fractal break. So that's the thing that I look for, and the MACD's up. So we're over the gap, we're over the pivot, and we're over the weekly pivot, and above the weekly pivot, above a monthly pivot means we're potentially positive. Where could it go? Really up to the CAM levels, hence why we've got targets a little bit higher, up at the 13,000 levels. Now, that's the setup. Then how do we want to look to get into it? Of course, a 5-minute bar break would have been ideal for us today, which it was. Challenge with it a little bit was that the stop is very, very big. Which we did still have to take a large stop for that. But really, myself and Ross were conversing, and we liked the fractal break on the 3-minute. It doesn't really get much better than that. I often, there's always a little bit of, how far through the level is it going to go, and then give us a fractal. Ideally, it does exactly this, pops through the level, took out the overnight high here, beautifully done, and then retraced. That's what we want to see. It's already getting fairly extended here anyway, so we wanted to see a retrace. I'll give you the commentary from Ross as well. He was like, well, if we could get back to the pivot, that would be ideal, or the gap, and we can go along from there, which I agreed with. In terms of the DAX, we do know it can take off as well. So look, it's done a little bit of a retrace, and excuse me, and then breaks above this level. Yeah, can be very, very strong, as we've seen. So now it's all about, okay, we've taken half profits with 50 points. Technically, we should probably reduce our risk to 50 points as well, I'd say. So I would do that. I need to get that out on the channels, but you guys are here, so I reduce your risk, just make it a risk-free trade. I think 50 points below our entry at 32. We don't really want this going through the weekly pivot now. We want it to hold this fractal break for the move higher. So it may take a little bit of time, but that's all good. We wanted to see this in the first couple of hours as well. That was what we were saying pre the open, also on the report. Didn't quite expect we'd get a 5-minute bar breakup to reflect this, but there you go. So fractals is something I look at. 5-minute bar I'll look at every day. Fractals we'll look at every day. They're just not always conducive. As I said, we wanted the break yesterday of the 5-minute bar, but couldn't get there. And yeah, okay, today we're in the market with quite a flurry for sure. Okay, so guys, any questions on that? Does that make sense? Is this things you're looking for yourself? Okay, so we're just after the Pro Traders session now. Trade is just coming to hit target, hopefully in the next minute or so. We can just push up into the full target there. We're about an hour after the market opened. We got into this trade 10 minutes after the market had opened. So hopefully we're just going to complete within an hour. There we go, the trade taken this. We'd already taken half profits. That's the full profit taken for the trade. So on our medium-sized account, which we use to demonstrate the trades that we take via Advisor, we made just under 1%. We risk 1% per trade, but you can risk more per trade, and that is the reason why you'll see some of our clients have higher returns than we do. They'll simply just maybe risk 2% on the trade. They might be trading a smaller account. So another winning trade for the DAX. DAX has not had a losing trade since we launched Advisor. Let's see how our clients got on. So some great results from the clients. We actually had another winning trade earlier with the FTSE. So many of our clients getting both of those trades. Gary making 2.8%. Cassandra loving the advice that we're giving via Advisor. And Michael Troy making 1.25%. So if you want simple and easy to understand trades where we do all of the heavy lifting and deliver the trades that we're taking on our account directly to you, please check out Advisor. We'd love to have you on board.